Speakers, can I just acknowledge the presence in the public gallery of Tia Sanjeevi and Luke Rhodes, are here as guests of Nicole Overall. You're very welcome. Right, further speakers. Honourable Nicole Overall.
Mr Deputy President, I rise to take note of the Minister for Environment's answer in relation to Brumbies numbers. And of course you won't be surprised to hear that I may know a little bit about the subject. And I'm very disappointed to hear, Minister, that you didn't let me know that you had come down to visit the beautiful Cosy Park, and I would have been happy to join you, I'm sure. But it is good to know that the count has been released on the website. Again, I'd point out here that there is quite a range in the figures there. I think you quoted 1,579 up to more than 4,000. And again, I think it's those range of figures that lead to a number of questions that continue to be asked and need to be addressed around all of this. One of the points that I would make, and harking back to the Honourable Emma Hurst's point as well, are the control methods that you've suggested, Minister, that are still going to be implemented, including rehoming, but coming back to reproductive control. Now, this is one of the methodologies that I was very keen on at the time that I was the member for Monaro and raised a number of times, and I must admit that, and no questioning of the work and research and efforts of national parks, but whenever I raised the reproductive methods, I was always talked down from it, that it was too hard, the science wasn't there, that it was difficult with the numbers, etc. This comes back to my point about the numbers and the fact that the variations in the figures were very pronounced at the time that we were initially talking about all of this more than 2 years ago now, as high as 24,000, I think, at some point. So the differentiation in the figures leads to the question of why couldn't we have looked at something like the reproductive methods sooner? And I would very much be interested in hearing, Minister, you taking that forward and how that might be progressed and rolled out. Because as you have mentioned, it is now about the management. That if you are suggesting that the management plan is working as it should, that the numbers are being addressed as they should, then we need to ensure that that management plan is given every opportunity to work in the way that it needs to most effectively. And the one point that I'd raise in that in my last 30 seconds is, given that the management plan now has that opportunity to work as legislated, why some of your members in the other place are suggesting that it should be done away with entirely. If outcomes are being reached and the balance has been achieved, it's now about ensuring that that management continues and is done so with the best balance and outcomes possible.
Yeah.